Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How we doing? We're gonna wait for some more people to come on in here. But while we do that, as we have a great show planned for you today, we're gonna definitely get to the nitty gritty of what's going on in this market because a lot of us see and hear the fear. Okay. And we all want to know what's next. Everybody wants to know what's next. So hopefully everybody can hear me okay. But while we let some more people come on in for a few seconds, we're going to just jam out to some tunes. But I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing great. I have a lovely guest who's been a part of the BTR community for quite some time now. Sparks Flames will be joining us live on the call. Will give us some great market insights and where she sees things going and how we can all benefit from this. But we have a great show planned out for you today, so stay tuned and let's go. And oh yeah, you know who this is. This is your boy, Brando. Let's go. Shouts out to everybody in the BTR community. I hope all of you are doing well and having a great weekend. Yes, sir. Let's give it a minute or so. Let everybody catch their bearings. And we'll get this thing started. Coming straight to you live from Los Angeles, California. We're here. We're back. We got a lot in store. A lot of hidden gems that we want to bring to the people's attention. You know, we started this thing. We've been bringing people early assets before they even rise. And we're going to continue to do that. Yes, yes, yes. Grab your drinks, grab your snacks, because you're going to need it. Nobody wants you to go hungry. We want to feed you. We feed in the streets with this crypto knowledge, and we're going to do it like no one else can, as we've been doing it. People are coming on in. Cool beans. All right. Get your questions ready now. If you have any questions, feel free. We're going to definitely get to those as well. All right. Take a look at the artwork. You got to have a scenic view. A scenic view. Now I want you to feel the energy that this song, this beat permeates throughout this crypto universe. And this here is going to help you elevate. I'm calling that on you right now. We're calling for elevation in more ways than one. Not just us as human beings, but also financially. This is a prosperous time. And it's only prosperous if you can also see it in your mind. Okay? Now, don't fret. We're going to get to the nitty gritty, but we got to open it up just how we do it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bigger Than Race. You know who this is. This is your boy, Brando. Ladies and gentlemen, today's topic of this episode, is the market is in fear. What's next? Because, I have a lot of people in our community who have been hitting us up, asking many questions, and they want to know what's up. What hidden gems are still out there? Do we still share the same sentiment on the market as we once did? And for me, ever since I got into crypto, no matter the up times, the down times, I always saw it as bullish with a capital B, ULLISH. Now, imagine if I spelled bullish wrong in that moment. You think, what the hell is wrong with him? But I've been bullish. We all have in our community, and we're going to stay bullish. We're going to continue to do what we have been doing, which is providing our community the tools, the resources on how to accelerate their learning curve, how to avoid the pitfalls and mistakes that many people can fall into just because of not knowing, right? Being ignorant to this crypto world. And, we're also helping you reach a positive ROI because this crypto world is chaotic and there's no guarantee that you'll be able to last in this game just because of how volatile it is, how many scammers, how much shit is going on 24/7. Currently, right now, you have many of the industry down in Denver at the ETH Denver. So we have a lot of our portfolio companies that are out there, and the market is in a neutral sentiment right now. But if you look on the indicator, it's in fear. Everybody's in fear. So we're going to talk about why that is. I'm going to bring on my guests. We're going to talk about why the market is in fear. Certain things on what we can do to win at a time like this. What we're going to talk about why the fear is dominating the market right now, historical patterns during similar fear cycles, potential catalysts that could shift sentiment, strategies for navigating uncertain times, and my predictions for the next 3 to 6 months, our predictions, alongside Sparks Flames, aka the Wolf. So when she comes on, I bring her on. We all need to howl, okay? Now, Sparks, we're coming on in. Everybody, welcome Sparks to the channel. I sound just like a Sparks. How you doing today?
It's a pleasure to be here.
Likewise.
Great to it's nice fantastic Friday, beginning of the weekend, and maybe currently, but good vibes are still there and there to be maintained. We go on this journey of investing in these picks, trying to see the future, even though the current events may not be clear, so to speak, and maybe
100%. And we've always shared many conversations behind the scenes, and we always talk about how retail investors, people within this crypto space, that they move, their emotions move with the market. So when the market is up, their emotions are up. People come out of their little holes, start to talk, chime in. When the market is down, their emotions are down. They go back in their holes. And for me, I never understood it. Ever since I got into crypto, I've lasted and sustained myself through 3 bear markets. And that one in 2017 was the worst of them all. I've seen people leave, kill themselves, come back to life, come back into crypto, revamp, do nobody stays. And I always believe that you have to stay the course. You have to stay tenacious, you have to stay hungry and vigilant in this space. Now, seeing what's going on right now, all the rumblings, because I know you got your head and ears in many different places, Sparks. What are the rumblings right now in regard to the sentiment? What's causing all of this fear?
basically, I would say just to touch a little bit on the political environment. Started a bit when this were introduced by Trump, um, to countries like Canada, Mexico, China, and so on. So it sparked a lot of fear in the market, and I would touch on several points what brought on this fear. The tariffs that were introduced by Trump and other countries as well, and as we can see, there is this trade war. That in those terms, they between countries, and that certainty to investors because that's also contributing to potential inflation, and inflation is not good news. If we many of the is held by Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, 2%, and they are actually because one month it's up, another
Mm.
and such. So there's a lot of uncertainty in regards to that. Number two, I would say, is the in terms of going on in the crypto space, especially to meme coins. As we saw in the last 2 weeks, celebrities and political figures launched their own tokens, and a lot of fiasco, around.
She shall return. I'm not sure what happened to her. Maybe there was a little disconnect. Sparks. There she is. All good. Just pick right back up where you left off.
Cool. So basically, there's a lot of fear in regards to the going in the crypto space pertaining, especially to meme coins. Um, as we know, a lot of political figures had a lot of in regards to that, and a lot of investors are uncertain because where a meme coin used to trade for a week or two before a dump, now it's happening, if not straight after launch. So that is also, sentiment in regards to crypto and such. And then Of course, if you want to get into the analysis and things like that, a lot of folks who are in that side of crypto, they have seen a lot of drama movements between exchanges like Kraken, Binance, and Coinbase, where they are all these assets for stable coins. So tells you that if they are dumping Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, or whatever the asset may be, that tells you to buy cheaper prices, and they stable coins instead. So a lot of that too contributed to the sentiment in regards to crypto.
You know, and it's sad. They always say follow the money, right? But how much of us really do we follow the money? Because if we're seeing entities like this who are ingrained within crypto making these moves, should we be doing the same thing? Now, there's been some gains that have been made in my portfolio, and I've even had conversations with you on what approach to take because of reading the charts, the technical analysis, as you mentioned. And I have, speaking for myself, I've been making sure I have some stable coins on hand, right? But should people be focusing on looking to stabilize themselves in a market like this? What would be your take? And I understand there's no financial advice, right? But we're looking to save the people with some type of information that could help them. That's really what Bigger Than Race was all about from the beginning, is giving people information to help them accelerate themselves, but also to help them have a seat at the table. And just to brief everybody, because you may be listening to us newly, right? But my name is Brando Murphy, and I'm a founder of Bigger Than Race. Uh, it's an entity community, but we also run a venture capital community VC, where we've invested in over 35 plus projects, and we get in early. So if you're looking to join a community who's thriving and helping people change their lives, not just monetarily, but also to become a better person, join the community, because then you'll also be able to get a seat at the table so that you can have access to these beautiful projects that we invest in, this emerging tech, sooner than later and before everybody else. We pride ourselves on being early. We don't talk about things when everybody else talks about them. We talk about it first, and then everybody acts like they did it first. Well, in all reality, we were the first, and we can got proof for that. But Sparks also, Sparks Lambs, Camille, she's been in the community, serving the community as a liaison, as an ambassador, as a spokesperson, as somebody else to lean on. She has several roles, but currently she serves as COO of the BTRVC. Does a tremendous, phenomenal job, and yeah. So she has the experience, she has the knowledge, and she prides herself on research, which is why we have stayed connected for these many years and more to come. But Sparks, what should people do to stabilize themselves? Should they be doing anything? What would be your take on the matter?
Well, that depends on asset that you're in when you got, and just to go a little track here. One thing in BTR we have got from the beginning is that you take your profits, whether it's a 2x, a 5x. The point is make sure you get at least money that you invested in, so that you need to get back in. You have something on the side to get back in and such. In times like, and if you like 50% down, 60%, 70, 80% down, I would say, and as we said, it's not financial advice. I would say right now regarding potentially what coin can do, Ethereum as well. I would say DCA is the best strategy. If you DCA now, it's lower, 10% lower. You can DCA into that has dropped and such. And that way you minimize your losses and you stay keep it above the waters, basically. You're not drowning, but sinking in the red. So I would say for now that would be also keep some stables on the side. Don't just go all in and such. Use wisdom. Time the market to perfection. You can get close to it with a DC strategy.
Yeah, and appreciate that, Sparks. For those of you who don't know what DCA is, dollar cost averaging, uh, meaning you buy a little bit of an asset over time, and you can set the length of that time, but you know it just helps you. So, for example, if you invest and buy in at 10 cents and then it drops to 5, you buy some more, so you average out the price that you bought in over time, and that just makes it better for you as an investor, and that just also shows your conviction on a project. And many people wonder, how do you create conviction? How do you continue to stay bullish on certain assets? And it's research, it's connecting the dots, 6 degrees of separation. It's all of these things that we have been teaching over the years. And this is what has sustained us to be able to continue to stay in the game, regardless of what the market is doing, whether it goes up, down, sideways, turn around. I don't care if the market does the hokey pokey. I'm right along with it. Okay. So you just got to create that conviction for yourselves. Now, Sparks, we see that the market right now, Bitcoin is doing a number of things, right? And I know we have some charts to share that you pulled. What do you see? And is this a good point to bring up these charts? But where do you see Bitcoin going? Where do you see Ethereum going? Where is the market going right now? Because I'm trying to figure it out. And I know if I'm trying to figure it out and you're trying to figure it out, everybody else is. And we're all in the same boat. Been a lot of events that took place that swept us off our feet, not in a good way. You had the Trump Millennia coin. I'm looking at the Millennia coin now from where it was 89 cents. What the? I mean, all of this liquidity sucked out of these beautiful AI agents and in many other areas into these assets. And it just looks like a string of events that was orchestrated attempts to tank the market. I don't know. I mean, am I the only one who's looking at it like this? Were these events to you? Did it seem like they were, orchestrated events to lead to this? Now we're in a place trying to figure out where Bitcoin and Ethereum is going. Where is this all going? Because I don't get it.
Yeah. What I want to say is, on what you're saying, we don't know the future and such, but we can predict the possible moves that can be best for us. And things that and that I've noticed is that if you notice from the beginning of last year, beginning of this month, look at how Bitcoin. Then you saw ETH pick up. You saw the top 10, top 20 pick up, and then crazy where all these meme coins um, and all these coins. I'm not saying that all of them do not have utility, but mainly there was a large speculation where money was just because of political events, the US elections. People were bullish. Trump came to office because he wanted lower rates, and that is bullish. Lower rates allowed the Fed to print more money at a lesser cost. The consumer operations to borrow money at a lesser cost. extremely bullish for the market. We saw this speculation get up in December, going into January. The icing of the cake was the Trump and Melania coins that came out just after each other. So that is sort of nicely with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, your top 10, all your utilities start to work, and then it just goes into a berserker mode. And you know, this mode where a coin can do 20,000% in one day.
Yeah.
That is really crazy, because you will never find this in the stock market, you know.
Never.
So never, yes. So that's where things kind of got messy and such. So how do I see this downturn? I see washing out. You wash out all the bad money, drive out all the gamblers, drive out all the speculators, and then you're left with fundamentals, where people will go back to utility tokens that have been building for years, great business model. They have real use cases in the world, the infrastructure in place, the working moments and such. So that is where I do. And I remember I spoke to Brando and I said, you know what, as long as we stay above 100K, we are okay. And then Bitcoin went down a bit into the 90s. Still bullish because, hey, it's just slightly below, but we're okay. And around that time, when it dropped to about 80K and recovered up rapidly, that's I still stayed bullish, because we still made an attempt towards 100K and went over. However, I would say around mid-February, when we failed and we were just sitting in the 90s, we were just bouncing like a ping pong, up and down, up and down. I still had faith, but it was just like it just felt off.
Yeah.
And then so when it started, when Bitcoin started to make its way to the low 90s, that's when I started to suspect, and I wanted to look for something. Is going to blame it on tariffs. That is the story that they're going to put out there. So I've been looking for the actual reason as to why crypto is. And one of the reason is that if you look throughout the month, the Fed has been talking about loading off the cutting off assets of the balance sheet. And if you look and you listen to Jerome Powell speak, he never spoke about easing down on the tightening. They never spoke about printing money and things like that. So that was one of the clues as to what where I was going to suspect that something was wrong. And what was wrong was the global liquidity. Global liquidity was going up, but it was not going into crypto, and it was flowing little bit into the stock market, and mainly into US treasuries. So I did some digging onto the onto the federal website, and what happened is, if you read the speech that Jerome Powell last gave,
gave,
you would see
you would
that
see that
the
that
tightening
the
of the balance
tightening
sheet for
of
the
the
Fed
Fed
actually stops
actually
in March.
stops in,
And I
and I suspect
suspect this is going to
to
be
be
due to high
due to high
unemployment
unemployment
that's going to pick up in
that's
numbers as
as
the
the
months
months
go on,
go on.
and the system cannot handle
Cannot
the
handle the
tightening, and
tightening, and
therefore the
therefore
Fed has
the
to
Fed
cut
has to cut
rates.
rates.
So that
So
is where
that
the
is where
main
the main
um, issue starts at.
issue
Because at
starts.
the end
At
of
the
the
end of the
day,
day,
it is central
it is
banks
central banks
that control the
that
markets
control the
and the money
markets
supply.
and the money supply.
Mhm. So what does that mean for Bitcoin? Like I have this chart here up on the screen, the one that you sent me. What is this chart dictating in what is what you just say correlate? How does that correlate to Bitcoin?
So since there
So
is no
since there is new
liquidity coming into the
liquidity
market,
coming into the markets,
and there is an overall bearish
there is
sentiment,
sentiment,
and if you want to look
and
at the
if you want to
fundamental
look at,
side,
uh,
I believe
I believe that
Trump
Trump
will enforce these
will
tariffs
enforce these
around the
tariffs
4th of
of
March.
March.
So that
So
is going
it's
to
going to
leave a
leave a
lot of
lot of
investors bearish,
investors bearish
uncertainty, and also
and
in
also
doubt and
in
stuff. We
doubt
call it
and stuff.
FUD
We call
in
it FUD.
crypto.
Right, right.
Also, if
Also,
you
if
look
you
at the
look at the
structure,
structure,
it looks
it
very
looks very
similar to
similar
what
to what
happened in the beginning
happened
of
in the beginning of
2021, the main
2021.
bull run. So in
So in
2021,
2021,
in
in
2021,
2021,
the
the
chart shows
shows
that
that
Bitcoin fell
Bitcoin fell
around
around
31%
31% between
January and
January and
February.
February.
And if we
And
look
if
at
we look
the
at
current
the current
state,
state,
so far we have
so
fallen
far we
almost
have fallen
30%.
percent.
So
So
this shows
this
that
shows
we are still on par in
on
terms of the
par in
trend,
terms of the
and we
trend,
are still
and we
on
are
an
still on an
uptrend in
uptrend
terms of the market.
in terms of the.
Got it. So this chart here is from 2021, and this downturn right here is showing that 30% drop. No, I'm not hearing that. Um, but yeah, it's showing a 30% drop here, and it's correlated to the time frame currently right now with this recent drop in Bitcoin, which I think was about 27% when we last checked. So yes, there's dips, it's volatility, but we're on par still for the upside. Now, what I always recommend people do, regardless, of course, we want to watch the market a little bit, see how it plays out, but you want to also have some hidden gems on hand, hidden gems that also participate within the narratives. And we coined this in our community: the trend is your friend. And we've been capitalizing off the trends is your friend for some years now. So it's a very great thing to have access to, uh, which is knowledge to crypto assets that are really doing major things. And in this video, we're going to also show you a couple of these assets. You might see some of them on that thumbnail there, but we're going to definitely get that squared away. Let me see. We're getting some feedback loop. Hold on. Let's see. How about now? Getting an echo on Spark's voice. 1 second. Let's see if we can solve that. I'm not sure why it does that. Actually, how does it sound now, guys? Sparks, can you hear me?
It sounds perfect on my end.
Okay. Oh, what about? Can anybody chime in the chat? Oh, it's when you're talking. Well, hopefully it doesn't do that anymore because I'm hearing you fine on my end. Um, but yeah, it must have just started now. But how about now, guys? Can anybody answer in the chat? All clear. All right, good to go. So yeah, let's get back to this chart here real quick. But yeah, we're gonna highlight some of these hidden gems, guys, in this video. But yeah, so we're on par for Bitcoin to start continuing to go up. Now, we have another chart here, Sparks. This one right here. Now, what is this that we have up on the screen?
So yeah, shows the 2021 downtrend. This is the chart I was speaking about, where between just say around the end of January going into Bitcoin took that downtrend, that toll. And if you look at it, right, that shows about 32% roughly. So, there's a lot of factors to consider compared to the 2021 bull run. Number one, before the halving, especially this past halving that we had, um, we reached new all-time highs. We've received we got a BlackRock ETF, so that's a lot of money coming in, a lot of inflows and such. And then also we've seen Bitcoin where it tends to say about a month or two or three, depending on how you see it and which chart you're using. Bitcoin tends to go straight up and then it takes a little bit of a breather for a few months, say about 2 or 3 months, and then it shoots right back up. Now, this is this does equate or does measure up, with global liquidity, but not until recently. That's the difference that we have seen, on my end. Also, if you look at the dollar, the Dixie chart, just a few days ago, it has bottomed out and it has now in a bullish trend on a daily chart. However, if you look at the overall trend of the dollar, it's bearish because it's making lower highs and lower lows. And that is how you tell the difference between a trend that's going up or going down. So when a trend is going up, it makes higher highs and higher lows. When a trend is going down, it makes lower highs and lower lows. So that is how you differentiate between the two. And if we have to look at Bitcoin, so far on the overall picture of it, it has made higher highs and higher lows. Of course, there are things that we need to look out for. For instance, if it does break at the current levels, we are looking at around 77 to 75%, $75,000 per Bitcoin. That's what we're looking at roughly. If it breaks that level, we are looking at, I would say, maximum 69K to about 71K. That's the main threshold that it needs to hold. Because if it breaks that, it'll break the previous all-time high that happened in the 2021 bull run. And then also it's going to break the bullish trend, the bullish structure overall. So
What's the
those are
time
the
frame on that?
things. Um, that's a little bit difficult, just to be a little bit honest. But, given with the current events and what we are expecting, we can say a possible, and please don't, guys, don't quote me on this. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't have magic powers to predict the future, but I suspect that going into March, maybe mid March, and moving forward, we can be going up on an uptrend. I would say that. However, like I said, we are looking for such as the Fed side, they need to say that, guys, we are not tightening, the money supply anymore. We're going to start printing, or we are looking forward to lowering rates due to high unemployment and, you know, and so on and so forth that we are looking for. If you look at this past week, we've been getting a lot of good news despite of the market um,
So much good news.
conditions.
So
A lot
much.
of good news. Like, for instance, a lot of the investigations against Coinbase, Uniswap, just to name a few platforms, crypto platforms, they have been, the investigations and lawsuits against them have been dropped. So that is good news. And
FTX giving
if
back 682 million, not to cut you off.
actually, that is a very good point, and thank you for bringing that up because I actually forgot about that. Yes, you can also say that the FTX contributed to it because I believe they unlocked some funds. If if we were to get the figures, let me just quickly check over here. I do have them.
They used all that money to buy Bitcoin. That's a goddamn shame. And then they want to divvy it back to you on their time frame. How odd is that? How corrupt? I'm sick and tired
Yeah,
of it, Sparks. Every time you turn around, somebody's trying to scheme you, somebody's trying to rob you, somebody's trying to get over on you. You know, this is what I don't understand. We're like the Robin Hood of fucking crypto, okay? Because we've only tried to only lead people to success. We have integrity with what we do. I could have launched a coin a long time ago and hit everybody over the head, but I did it. And we have all of these people right in front of our faces stealing millions, billions of dollars. And it's even happening in projects that we thought was legit because everything checks the box. I'm fed up and I'm going to start calling them out because somebody has to. I'm not going to keep throwing money into projects and let you walk away and float off into a goddamn abyss, into the abyss on a blimp. No, I'm gonna bring you back down to earth and whoop that ass. I swear I can't wait for the metaverse to really come into play because I got a lot of people I need to slap in the metaverse. I'm gonna digitally slap you because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick of it. Now, okay, we're going to enter a bullish phase at some point. Maybe it'll be in March. Nobody truly knows, right? And, even if we look back at when Trump won, we're at right now, well, Bitcoin rose up to where it was based on the hype around Trump becoming president. That's why we went up, period. Could you say that it was just inflated numbers, Sparks? None of it was really real. I mean, because if you even look, like, I don't, when it comes to politics, I'm neutral. And the problem I have with people in the world is no matter what you say, if you agree with a statement somebody says, people play this me versus you, red versus blue bullshit. I'm so sick of it. That is a whole game, right? They want us in division. They don't want us collectively to agree. They want us to agree to disagree. But Trump was supposed to be good for the markets. It was good for a time frame. So could you just say, Sparks, this whole rise of Bitcoin from 69 to over 100 is because of Trump? And do you think Trump will cause it to go back? Or do you think he can help sustain it? Or do you think, I mean, anything is possible? You know, you already told us where the downside it could lead to. But was this real?
Well, definitely it was real. I can speak for myself. On the day or just a few hours before, you know, the results of the US vote, came out and such, I was watching CME Bitcoin, right? So for those who don't know, CME is Chicago Mercantile Exchange. That is where your institutions like BlackRock, Warren Buffett, and all these guys, even Michael Saylor, buy Bitcoin and all these other stocks and assets without moving the price, right? So there are times where it can move the price and there are times where it doesn't move the price. But in this case, I saw beforehand, couple hours before Trump could be announced as the winner, I saw Bitcoin going up, and a few hours later on the exchanges, you see that too reflecting over there and stuff. So that caused a big jump. And within couple, I would say give it about 2 or 3 days, right? Bitcoin gained um, about an extra 16K to its price. So it was moving fast. It was moving at a rapid rate. If you look at the chart around that time, you see green, long
Hmm.
green God candles, as they say. So, you know, just to I read, oh, just going back to the question that you asked, um, is this based on hopium? Is this based on nonsense? No, definitely. This is based on institutions betting on, crypto regulations that will come in and, bring in this new class of digital assets into the US, make it, not just legal, but give it some framework to work around and not just sit in the, limbo for investors and stuff like that. And also create a new diverse way of transacting and technology, and bringing all of that, making it legal in the US. So that is what that whole pump was about, basically. So I would say since then we've been on an uptrend in terms of Bitcoin. We have shot up. We topped out around end of Jan, beginning of Feb, around that time frame. And you know what? Sometimes you need to take a little bit of a breather. In order to go up, sometimes you need to come back down a little bit, find your flooring, find yourself, calm things down, wash out all the bad money, all the degens out, and let fundamentals come back into it, and investors, not speculators, but investors, let them come in before driving the price higher.
100%. And it's going back to the types of assets and tokens that we've been promoting and highlighting in our community since time immemorial. Shout out to Gregory Manarino. And we're going to get back to that. And we're going to also highlight some of these on this video here. So let's get the mood set so that I can actually go over some of this stuff with you guys. Because there's a lot of assets out there, but there's a lot of hidden gems, and there's assets that people aren't looking at that are going to be massive components to the crypto ecosystem at large in many different sectors. And I want to highlight them here. So let's do that. So right now on the screen, you can clearly see Aether, Virtuals, Masa, IoTex, Tron, VeChain, and I have some others that I have highlighted. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you here. Now, Aether. I love Aether. It is a project that I feel like is going to be monumental because everybody's talking about gold going up. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin is the new gold. But what they fail to realize that GPUs, as we continue to go into the fourth and fifth industrial revolution, GPUs will be powering all of it. The other day I was down in West Hollywood, driving through, going to a dinner, and I made a left turn. I was getting ready to make a left turn, but there was a Waymo, an autonomous vehicle, making a right turn, well, making a left turn, which going towards my right. And then I also saw a robot crossing the street at the same damn time delivering food. Now, I was like blown away because everything that we've been investing in, everything that we've been talking about and priming up our community is happening right before our eyes. Sooner or later, you're going to start to see drones flying all over your head, delivering packages, deliveries, etc., etc. You will be out of a job, and you have to, if you're looking to really advance your wealth and change your life, crypto is the only way to do it. So Ether comes up on a list, not because it's one of our portfolio companies of the BTR VC, but also because of what I see Ether as. It is a beast. And of course, we know a little bit of things because we've seen some stuff that everybody else isn't privy to. But they are working with some of the biggest corporations, companies in the world. Companies that you know. Now, Aether is the only enterprise-grade AI-focused GPU as a service provider in the market. Its decentralized cloud computing infrastructure allows GPU providers, containers, to meet enterprise clients who need powerful H100 chips for professional AI ML tasks. Now, Aether also supports cloud gaming clients with their virtual computing phones and GPUs with contracts with the world's largest telecommunication company. Everything within Aether ecosystem will be decentralized and community owned. Now, we own and run some Aether nodes. I also bought more Aether because I believe over time Aether will become bigger than what people can see it as currently right now. And I kind of say, I have my pulse on the future a little bit because, things that we've been talking about for years have been coming to pass. And everything that we have been talking about has been coming to pass and playing out. We may say things right now, but it might take 2 to 3 years for it to come to fruition. But I'm okay with waiting that 2 to 3 years because I can make more money in them 2 to 3 years than I would ever do just working at a job. This is the power of crypto. This is the power of GPUs. And this is why I say Aether has been being accumulated and will continue to be accumulated. And you're not going to hear a lot of influencers talk about certain assets. I really haven't seen a lot of them talk about it, especially as these tokens dip. But Aether is on the list. Now, actually, Sparks, I would like for you to add your take on Aether. What do you see? Why is Aether big in your eyes?
Well, mainly such a, if not a phenomenal project that of being early in and such kind of infrastructure that they're building. If you look at um, the way the GPUs work, the containers, and how it's run, and all of that, you will start to understand that they are orientated, making it easier for anyone supporting not just deepen projects, but they are supporting, right? They are supporting gaming. They are supporting many of the narratives that that is out. And one of the things that I really stood out to me in regards to ethics, um, when we spoke to Biden, himself when we had that little chat. One of the things that from that call is that he was very passionate and AI infrastructure and powering the next economy. And he believed in I wouldn't say narrative, but he believed in this before it took off and such. So that is to tell you that eight is ahead of the trends. So when the trends come, they are capitalized, and also they are in position to welcome projects that are looking for in the trend to host a project or supply of cloud services or whatever it is. So that is one of the things that actually stood out to me. And just recently I saw a graph, and Aether was stood out as the number one top DGEM project by revenue. The revenue, as it announced here, the revenue was $10 million. So that tells you they have a working product in stage. They have using the tech, and they have the infrastructure to always and have all these projects on, so that all these projects, all these AI products, they can function as well. Because if you look at the AI agent projects, a lot of them are using Ether. And why is that? That is because they're providing the GPU service that the AI agent needs in order to function and to be useful to us humans.
100%. I appreciate your take on that. And that is exactly why we keep buying and why we invested in Aether. Aether is primed to integrate in many different industries and sectors. And I believe if you're somebody who's looking to touch AI agents at the infrastructure level, I think investing in Aether is one way to do it, because its reach is long, the tentacles are many, and as Sparks just said, they're already revenue driven. They're successful. They had one of the biggest node launches I've ever seen. And how they have structured the vesting, how they have structured the way the nodes pay out, it's all in a way to sustain the price. And it has been sustained. Of course, it dipped because of what has been taken on in the market. I mean, a project can only sustain so long, right? But they have been doing a great job. And right now, as we look at the chart, it's going back to 4 cents, as it was hovering around 6 cents for quite some time. Went up to 8 cents, dipped back down to 6, stays pretty stable at 6, and we quietly seen creeping up. And I've been noticing throughout this time frame, many of the AI agent projects have been springing back up to life. So Aether's on the list. Next up on the list, my hometown sweetheart. Just kidding. But TRX, Tron. We've been talking about this thing since time immemorial. And Justin Sun, he's been at the foundation of crypto. He's helped many of these projects that you love get established in many other countries, like Ripple XRP. He's connected with some of the most biggest people within finance, within the business world. They always promote him with the biggest, but they also at the same time leave room for people to be able to cause FUD. And just with all of these lawsuits getting dropped, I believe Tron will be getting dropped as well, which would also only give more confirmation to what we already know. I mean, people have been seeing Trump buy up Tron. You're going to have people say, oh, it's because of he invested 30 million. Yeah, that might be some reason. But if you look at the grand scheme of things, and if you look under the hood of Tron, Tron is monumentally doing big business. They're integrated with Amazon. Soon to be, who knows? They might become uh, the new money transmitter or payment system 2.0. That's what they've been set out to do. I mean, if you look, you have USDT running pretty much all of the money on Tron. I think that is a statement in itself. I think everything he's been doing is on purpose. And I think because there was a movie that came out, two of them, I believe, Tron, and it was a remake, they're trying to tell you something. See, they tell you things without telling you. They put it right in your face. And I don't think people will really grasp it or realize it until it's too late. Sparks, what's your take?
Tron has been um, one of those few projects that were hidden gems. And when I say a hidden gem, a lot of people, when I first came to crypto, a lot of people said that Tron, Justin Sun, and you get all these allegations, about him, relates to tokens and things like that. But if you look at Tron silently for a long time, and if you look at how Tether utilizes the platform, time, or I would say 10 out of 10 times, I would say the US Treasury, if you can verify this, when Tether does a mint, that the tokens are minted on Tron, zero fees. So that speaks on what is trying to do. And also, into the Asian markets, Tether is, of course, it's because of the regulations between Circle and Tether and things like that. Tether is used a lot in the Asian markets. If you
Even
look at
in
the
Europe.
pairs, you'll see Bitcoin and Tether. Yes, even in Europe, even here in South Africa as well, we use Tether, the US-backed stablecoin by Tether. So that is just to show, what a hidden gem this token. And also in the recent months, Justin Sun has joined Donald Trump's World Liberty Finance Forum as well as an advisor. Tron has facilitated DeFi aspects and has, if I could say, perfected it, because why? The technology has been tested and tried like that. Even during the bear market, that hard compared to many other tokens.
It was stable.
And look how it was.
Yes.
As he said in his Twitter,
What'd he say?
so definitely, he said, "Steady, lads."
Yeah.
As because a lot of people are going around the stable back
Yeah. Yeah.
so even that too has. So guys, I know rumors and things like, but you have to look at degrees of separation. You have to look at the hidden conversations, the hidden move projects are making, and especially what Justin Sun has done. Look at it. Look at how he has brought adoption to many of the places in the world and such. So that is, this is how you tell that a project is legitimate basis. This is to show how they've been building, what they've been building, and into the real world. And I also believe that partnership Would don't don't quote me that. I know it's the one of the two. A test to what he's trying to do and what he's trying to build.
100%. And Sparks, just to piggyback, I'm looking at Pi. Pi's market cap is 14 billion, so to speak, right? I don't know how the hell it's at 14 billion. But nonetheless, it's at 14 billion. They have a max supply of 100 billion. Now, I'm looking at the trading volume of Tron at 1.3 billion. Market cap 19 bill. Now, Pi has circulating supply of 6.7 billion. And Tron is pretty much all in circulation currently. So, if Pi is trading at $2.16 right now, and it ain't doing nothing but taking people's time and resources off their telephone, what could Tron become? No one knew what Bitcoin was going to be before until it became what it was. No one knew what Ethereum was going to be before it came what it was. No one knew what Solana was going to be before it came what it was. No one knew what Curve was going to be before it was what it was. No, I can go on and on and on. You don't know. You think research is following a YouTuber, listening to them speak. Absolutely not. You can't just trust a YouTuber blindly because a lot of them give you false information. One, some of them give you information based off of their own emotions, based off if they really like something or not. And then some of them give information to divert you, to lead you astray. And you'll never know who's who in the zoo because you don't know who's bought and paid for. And you'll never realize this until you come on the side of this track so that you can actually have the eyes to see it. But if I were you, I would make sure I have at least 5,000 Tron. Okay? Going right along, ladies and gentlemen, another asset that wasn't mentioned on the thumbnail, but Creator Bid. This is the agent launchpad of BitTinter. And I've been buying this up. It went down recently to about 4 or 5 cents. Bought the dip. And I told you these AI agent assets have been going up. Yeah, they dip, but I believe these AI agents, these projects are going to have a mind of its own. And we'll start to see that as time progresses. And go figure, we say a mind of its own because they are meant to be NPCs, right? And live and be free like Free Guy. That's why he was free. But looking at Creator Bid 777 on a chart, this just speaks miracles to my heart. That's just telling me I need to get a little bit more. Actually, I just bought some more before we went live. But Creator Bid, billion supply. You got 268 million circulating. Every agent launched on this platform has 21 million tokens. Only 21 million. So if you look at the price of Tau, and I'm not by any means saying that these tokens would reach that, but who knows? We don't know what the hell this is going to turn into, just like you didn't know what Bitcoin was going to turn into. Tau's at $330. And it has a total supply of 21 million. Just like what they're going to be releasing their agents on this platform on. It matches that supply. Now, I firmly believe if you're looking to tap into agents that will be on Base and that will also be on Binance, you have CZ that's been hyping up, talking about AI agents, and I know Creator is right there in the wings. Creator Bid is a token for you to definitely access. Now, Sparks, I don't know if you have a take on Creator Bid, But if you do, please share. Sparks, can you hear me? I am not sure if she can hear, but I will continue and I'll move on to the next one. Next up on the list is VeChain. Ladies and gentlemen, VeChain is VeChain. You know, a lot of people see this asset in their houses on every UFC fight. You may be using this tech when you go to Adidas and many other stores with the technology where you just put your clothes in a little bin and it just totals everything up. That's VeChain tech. I believe it's that RFID which reads uh, the products. But VeChain is implemented everywhere. It's a household name. It's telling you that without saying it. And they have recently had some updates to their gas token, Vito. And not too long ago, Vito shot back up in price. Those of you who have VeChain, of course, you earn it just by having it in the wallet. And if you were smart, you would have sold that Vito and swapped it right into VeChain, which is what I did. It was about what, 20,000, something like that. Free money. Wham! Right into VeChain. But there is some updates to the ecosystem. Now, I'm not going to go over this right now, but I encourage you to go over it. But nonetheless, just the highlights. You'll be able to earn more Vito by staking. They're going to implement staking in the summer. And the earlier you get in the stake, the better it is for you. Uh, but that's how the rewards are going to take place. There's different levels. You can get different nodes. Dawn node 10,000, Lightning node 50,000, Flash node 200,000, premium tier with 1.3x multiplier. So you can see that, and then you can also be a validator if you want. Now, VeChain is ingrained in many different enterprises globally. Of course, no one really sees it because it's not sexy, right? Because it's quiet. But it will wake people up when the time comes. It is integrated with China. It is integrated with the US. And if you look at the 6 degrees of separation in what's happening in the macro world, politically, you have Trump making, wanting China to pay these tariffs. Of course, it may look scary. And it's going to cause a little bit of uncertainty. And he already said this before this started to happen. Trump said it. He said there's going to be some downside for the short term. It's going to be a lot of downside. But ultimately, we'll bring billions and billions of dollars. But Sparks, VeChain. What's your take on VeChain? I know you know about VeChain. What you think?
Sure. To be VeChain, I remember it was that uh, when we got equated, you mentioned it to me. Guys, as the time went on and such, the picture became more bigger than just being a. It's actually playing an integral part in China's belt stuff. So that is where a lot of people must and such. And just to let you know, China's Road Belt initiative, modern day Silk
Yes.
Road. If you go back into the history of about how China played in those times, you will understand the picture as to how China is dominating production now, but also the trade route. Hence why we have these debates on trade, Western world and the Eastern world. So this is what um, you know the world's supply chain, because where anyone can copy anything, anyone can an Adidas shirt in their home or something like that. But how do you verify that that is authentic, important in this digital age? And that's where VeChain's RFID tech comes into play.
100%. And you know, VeChain is everything. It's every trend. It's AI. It's DeepIn. It's supply chain. It's RWA. It's gaming. It's DAOs. DAOs are going to become even bigger as we progress. It's everything that you love, but no one can see it. And one thing that it is that most aren't is a real live product that actually works in the real world, because it's being used right before your eyes. Every time you see somebody get punched and kicked in the face on UFC, VeChain is here. Now, for those of you who don't know, let me quickly make you aware that VeChain launched in 2015 as a private consortium network. The VeChain Foundation went on to develop the VeChain Thor public blockchain, a fully programmable EVM compatible layer 1 smart contract platform that is adaptable to wide ranging real world needs, supply chain, sustainability, carbon emissions, SDGs, DeFi, NFTs, and more. VeChain Thor seamlessly handles it all. A unique two token model ensures low and stable transaction costs, while an advanced proof of authority consensus mechanism guarantees high throughput, scalability, and security with minimal energy consumption, culminating in zero downtime for the network after 3+ years of continuous operations. VeChain technology continues to pioneer real world blockchain applications across the globe with offices in China, Singapore, Luxembourg, Japan, France, San Marino, and the United States. Strong independent development capabilities combined with the professional compliance guidance of strategic partners, PwC and DNVGL, has enabled VeChain to establish partnerships with leading enterprises including Walmart, China, Bayer, China, BMW Group, BYD Auto, PICC, H&M Group, Shanghai Gas, LVMH, DIG, ASI Group, and more. VeChain is the Don Dada, and you won't know until it's too late. Moving right along, the DeepIn King, the Don Dada. I remember when this thing first came out. We were buying, you had the opportunity to buy at it at 00 double zeros. And it went up, had a rise. Let's see what happened on the charts. But it had that strong strike up to about 18, 19 cents in 2021. Chart looks pretty healthy. But since then, IoTex has continued to evolve, elevate, collaborate, and expand their ecosystem, turning it into what it once was to now what it is, an EVM compatible blockchain. DeepIn focused. Of course, it has other things on it, but it's DeepIn focused. And one of the great things about DeepIn is that DeepIn projects can earn revenue rather quickly. It's bullish. And it will become more bullish when we can see the network effect play out into the price. Now, I think this is a great opportunity to buy this asset. I have been buying and accumulating. You can also stake the asset. But this is something that I'm not going to not have. I always said when the prices dips a little bit lower, because I could have bought, I did buy earlier on, but I didn't buy enough. I needed more. IoTex is definitely something that I see has the potential to make you money, short term, midterm, long term. Period. Sparks, you have any thoughts?
Sure. IoTex is one of those projects where it's essential. Why I say it's essential is that you need all these infrastructure, physical devices, be able to communicate with each other and such. You need, like, let's say, if your coffee machine is integrated with AI, to your laptop that's integrated with AI, just to give a silly example. But machines need to be able to talk to each other, be able to so that so that these so that in the digital age, um, things will know your habits and all of those things. And also, it's part of the, if I'm not mistaken, of things is part of the fourth industrial revolution as well. And it's one of the things that we've about since 2020. So IoTex, sometime it has a good strong structure. A lot of projects, especially given to the arrival of the Deepin, a lot of projects have been even funding from them direct or collaborating with them via integration of data and such. So IoTex has been built on a constant basis and such. So I believe that IoTex has the ability to be one of those projects that will stay and even further, not only in token price, because it's tech to the world.
100%. Appreciate that, Sparks. Now, coming up, another asset that I firmly believe is a great asset, and I'll show you why. Uh, it is a part of the Coinbase crypto AI stack. Uh, let's see. I just want to pull it up for you so you can see this AI stack. Some of you probably seen it, but the asset I'm talking about is Masa. Masa, not Massa. Some of you think that Masa. Some of you are asking, Brando, what is Masa? Well, Masa is the decentralized AI data and LLM network. Own, share, and earn from your data and compute to power AI applications. Now, Masa is on the level of an ocean protocol when it comes to this data. Now, I was around when ocean was at its bare bottom price, which it was hovering at about 5 cents for a long time. And I was like, forget ocean protocol. I want singularity net. I just didn't see what ocean was. And then you know what? I kicked myself in the ass. Right? Because it turned out to be something that I didn't see. Why is this thing not popping up? And that's why you can never judge a book by its cover. So when I saw not Massa, but Massa come up, I don't know why this thing is not doing it. Let me get to an actual link and see if that solves it. But it shouldn't be doing that. Let's see if it works here. I honestly should have already had it plugged up, but looks like we'll get it here. So I recommend you come and check out the crypto AI stack because we understand where crypto AI is going. One of the greatest opportunities currently. But to come here, there's many projects on here. Many of them we have in our portfolio, So if you come to data marketplaces, you have Sahara AI, Masa, and then you also have Ocean Protocol, all on the same level, doing data marketplace. Uh, of course, you have different aspects of the crypto AI stack, but there's a lot of opportunity here. We won't go over everything. There's a lot of stuff we have here, and we'll probably share some of this stuff over time. But you know, Masa is here on the list, and I would encourage you to uh, take a dive into it. Sparks, I'm not sure if you know anything on it, but if you don't, that's okay. But I encourage you to look at it because if you're big on AI agents, if you're big on AI, if you're big on Coinbase, and if you believe that they have some kind of credibility within this space, then investigate truth on your own terms. Sparks, anything on this one?
Sure. So, just to give a brief Masa, Masa is a platform where, as you want to get paid for your data, you can actually contribute your data in a decentralized manner. And what's so cool about it is that if a developer or an AI agent wants to use that data, they need to pay for it using the master token for your data. How you limit the exposure on someone's data in a decentralized manner, or it's done where the contributor of that data for what they're putting out there. As we know, we live in a two space where a lot of these tech companies use our info, and they harvest our info and data without consent, number one, and without paying us for it, and yet they are making millions, if not billions, off it and stuff. They use it for marketing. You'll see, you search for something, and then you see those products to you or offered to you via the advertisements and such. So much that using blockchain tech, where everyone is, you know, getting, compensated for what they want. For instance, if you're a developer for your project, you pay for it. If you want to contribute, get paid for it. So that is what Masa is doing, and they have some really amazing. One of them is Animoca brands, and we know that Animoca, where there's Animoca brands, there's the money is there, and 10 times, the success rate is going to be good and such. Of course, there's no such thing as tease, but just to let you know that this is how they are, and this is what they are trying to achieve. Because if you look at Animoca's brand's statement, they want everyone in this decentralized world to be paid fairly on a level playing field, so to speak. And Masa is doing that by making sure that if you contribute into the data, pay for that. If you want the data agent or developer, just pay for that, and you can have access to that data. So Masa is one of those projects definitely to look out such if you want to add it to your portfolio. Of course, you do your own research. You know a lot of the fundamentals, but I would say that this is a great project.
100%. Appreciate that take on it. Um, yeah. So that's pretty much the gist of the crypto picks, the hidden gems that we kind of see forward that are great opportunities. Of course, there's many more out there, but we've already been on this live for let's say hour and a half, right? And I want to just quickly highlight some projects that are on my shit list. And if you have any questions, feel free. But I'm going to go through the chat real quick to answer some questions. It says, is 2030 the time frame we should look at for crypto to be fully implemented? You know, I think 2030 is a good point, right? But they say it can happen before then, 2028. You know, so I think 2030 is a good outlook, a good trajectory, a good reach point. But I think it will happen before then because we have been streamlining the advancement. I mean, you could just look at when you got into crypto. If you just go back to certain projects and look how they evolved and integrated with other things, I mean, it's just rapidly moving. So I think it's going to happen faster. Sparks, you have an opinion on that? Cool. So it says here, salute, gang. We're going down. LOL. I'm accepting the worst case scenario so I could be happy when it pumps. I mean, look, we could go down even further. Yes. You just got to be aware. And if you have some stable coin, if you took some profit, you know, it's an opportunity to buy into these lows. You know, not every project is going to buy down because there's other factors at play, right? But, you know, just be prepared in your mind. So, yeah, projects on the shit list. Hypercycle. I don't believe Hypercycle is what it is. I don't believe Hypercycle is doing what they say they're doing. I believe Hypercycle is exactly what's in the name. All hype. Now, we made money, especially if you bought the token, if you got in early enough, if you were able to participate in the seed rounds or private rounds or whatever round. That's why it's important and imperative for you to join the BTRVC. We'll also link all these things in the description. But go to biggerthanrace.com and you'll be able to get access. Also, you could go to our X page and you could join the Telegram chat on the pinned messages. But join the community. But Hypercycle's on the list. Capacity's on my shit list. Capacity announced a fake token swap, which they really don't have. They ain't doing no damn token swap. It was a way for them to just exit and save face. Capacity, if you're seeing this video, you're full of shit. We believed in you. But now I got to call you out. You're not doing any token swap. Right now, you're looking for somebody to purchase your tokens and technology in crypto because you guys don't know how to market a crypto token. That's the truth. And you need to come out with that. Stop beating around the bush saying token swap this, token swap. And all you guys are doing is biding time. You're full of shit, and I'm tired of it. Hypercycle, full of hype. You talk about all these big corporations using your tech, and you come out with YMCA. The YMCA. Get a grip. Who are you fooling? You could never give a straight answer. What's the guy's name? Sparks, the CEO or founder of Hypercycle, Toofy. You can never give a straight answer.
Toofy.
Every answer you got is a beat around the bush response, talking about Homo sapiens every chance you get, sounding smarter and making us feel like we dumb. Fuck that. Call it what it is, a human being. All this Homo sapiens stuff. Where's the goddamn compute? Matter of fact, I don't want nothing to do with Hypercycle. I sold all my nodes, and every token, every vested token I get, I'm selling it because I don't believe in the asset. I firmly believe, and I've already told my community before it happened. I told my community this asset is going down, which it did. They're going to take your tokens, telling you about all this compute because you got to plug your tokens to get the nodes and to get the earning rewards. Nobody's earning anything right now. This token is going to pump, right? You're not going to have any access to the token because you locked it in your nodes, and they're going to have all the money. and you're not going to make any money, any real money that you thought you were going to make over time. Why? Because this project is full of hype. And I dare somebody from the hypercycle community come and challenge me because I'm waiting for it. Because just like you try to get over on the people, you got somebody standing up for the people. I got a big mouth and I got a large bite. And I can back it up too. So, hypercycle's on the shit list. Sparks, do you have anything to say about hypercycle or capacity? And there's a couple other ones that I'm going to drop, but I'm so sick and tired of these projects sucking the life out of retail investors and our money and just lying to us. Tired of it.
Ye- Yeah, I would say first on in regards to hypercycle, um, around the launch time when the token launched and stuff, um, when that whole uh, hack happened, one investors in hypercycle, his tokens, he apparently got hacked and $1 million worth was dumped and stuff. And I remember and
Nick Black.
guys, you can go and see this in the yes, you can go and see what I said in the hype channel, in our Discord and that. And I said it was kind of weird. He got hacked just for $1 million, or all of a sudden when the token reaches a certain price, it went straight. He got hacked and things like that. So I remember around that time, some community members, just brushed it off and things like that, and much about it afterwards. And then months went by, from 2023 going into 2020. This all of these things kept on being pushed back, pushed back. We got the notifications from other that, and I remember when we had the chat with when I had the chat with Brando, and when he explained it made kind of sense. And funny enough, time to a friend and I went, and we do a lot of chatting together at times and stuff. And I said I said to my buddy, I said, hey, let's take a look at the hypercycle chart and let's see what we can come up with. And we saw it dropping around 13 to 12 cents. Of course, it's gone lower. But at that time, we saw it dropping to 12, 13 cents, potentially. But it's a good project. Yes, there's a lot of things. And then after I had the conversation with Brando, then this could be a catalyst as to why the token can go, and such. And lo and behold, fast forward a few months, present day now, it has come to pass, so that is being an investor. Yes, you invest, but you invest only as much as you can afford to lose, number one. And then number two, you always your investments, even if you take of the day or even of the week during your weekends and stuff, go dates. Are they building or are they messing and such? So I would say, so yeah, that's that is how things play. And as for capacity, the community knows, the BTR community knows, I'm a big, a capacity. They check what they're doing, stuff like that. But I remember when they announced these, I did some digging and I found some messages. Right, it was just between the that invested into capacity, the early rounds, seed rounds, such. And I showed those messages to Brando, and all those messages took to, and there was a lot of actions happening because of the Russia, war outbreak, and things like that, and that poised as a business because of the founder being from Ukraine and such. Uh, Fast forward going into 2024, when they announced that token swap, I did some digging and I found out some things that I didn't like. In that the team, when they launched back in late 2017-18, they changed. Some of them made, uh, I would say, minimum $2 million all the way to $10 million, just dumping on the community. And
And printing tokens.
that is why at Bigger Than Rate and printing tokens, dropping the price dropping, to new lows like that. And they got a working tech, they got customers and whatnot. But in terms of the token, as an investor, it posed a large question mark in my mind. I spoke to Brando many times about it and such. So I would say always keep up. That's why I said always keep up with your investment, what they are doing. Are they building? And is there something real and not just out, they're not just putting news out there, so-called keep you up
Yeah.
to date.
No, that's a good perspective. Of course, there's others. Somebody mentioned Dare NFT. I mean, Dare NFT was so low in price. I mean, I don't even equate that because you could have got, you know, a lot of that token for nothing. Cardia Chain. I don't know about Cardia Chain. I'm on the fence. I sold some of it. I have some left, just as a you know chance in case it goes back up. But they're just I don't see anything real. Um, there's some other ones out there. Of course, you have a lot that come and go. You know, there's some that there's some projects that are here. They're built. They're integrated, and they just disappear. There's no real announcement of the disappearance. They just get delisted from the exchanges and they just disappear. And for the life of me, I don't know how that works and what that means for projects like that. I firmly believe that there's some projects that might just come back to life. And if you have the asset, you're a lucky camper. If you don't, you might be able to get it at a higher price. But I firmly believe that. And I don't know why I believe that. Just like I don't know why I say some of the things that I say that comes to pass. But I believe that will be the case. Well, you mentioned Block V, Lori. What about Block V? We've been promoting Block V from the beginning. All of the other influencers that you see talking about Block V and Stronghold, SHX have come from bigger than race community, and they appear to act as if they somewhat came up with this and found it themselves. No, you will always be dependent until you can show and prove that you can do this yourself. Uh, but yeah, but Block V, yeah, I mean Block V is we already know what Block V is. We've always known about it. We hold it. I took some profit for sure. Having conversations with Sparks, Block V can dip uh, to almost what it could. The lowest it can go is 0.008, but anywhere from 1.7 to 2 cents, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, Sparks?
So given this downtrend of the market and Bitcoin and the overall market, those are potential levels that Block V can go to. Um, one and a half, I would, 1.5 cent would be a good, place for it to dip. And the reason why I make that assumption, or that I came to that conclusion, is that if you look at some time last year, Block V pumped from 0.008 or even slightly lower than that. But it pumped from those low levels all the way to roughly around 1.5 cent. And then it went back down. And as we have seen in the past few weeks, it has pumped all the way to 6 cents. So if you're looking in terms of support and resistance, 1.5 cent was resistance, hence why it went back down. But if the sellers come in and people start, selling their Block V tokens and stuff, I would say 1.5 cent is a good place. If it gets over bearish to the level that it came from. So that all depends on the market sentiment of Block V. But we know that they are ready to get some things, uh, they're ready to take off. They have mentioned that they've been building in the, quietly in the background and stuff. And it's one of those projects that have the potential to do very well in this bull run. So all I can say is if you have bought, the lows and you have, still have it up till now, take some profit off. Put some into stables. If it dips, you can buy back, even more than what you sold. If it doesn't dip, then you can just and it stays at the level, then you can just buy, back at that level. Um you can still accumulate, a bit more. So that just depends, in terms of Block V's token price. That depends um, on the sentiment of the token, the overall liquidity, and how psychology around the project works. Are people over bearish? Are people over bullish, or are they neutral?
100%. And yeah, Lori, they did say that the quiet times are over. Um, but that doesn't mean that the price can't dip because of what's taking place in the markets, right? You know, people also still have to sell as well. So, you know, we're given worst case scenarios. Not saying it's going to come to pass, but if it does, you'll be able to take advantage. Like I said, our community, we've been buying in at double zeros, 005, 004, 007. For us, you know, you've been able to make a good amount of money along the way, depending on how much you hold. So for us, we're not in the loss at all. But I definitely do think over time you'll still be able to make more money with Block V, short term, midterm, long term. And even if it does dip, nobody is saying how long it's going to stay there. I don't think it will be there that long. As they already said, Block V is ready to stop being quiet. We're going to make some noise. So let's see it. And I believe it will happen. Personally, you don't really need a sex listing uh, to have a coin go crazy. I mean, it'll be good at a certain time, but if you just look at virtuals, virtuals was making a lot of noise and doing major numbers just off of dexes. So yeah, it's good to start getting listed on exchanges for sure, but that's not my measure of success. I just think that will happen once it's the right time. But as of now, we're just gonna coast and let them do what they do behind the scenes. But I had the privilege to go to the Vadim House down here in Venice and see Eric Pulier speak. Got to ask him a couple questions about the token Block V. He wouldn't answer anything. Also got to see Reeve Collins in person at the NFT LA. We were at the. He was with I don't know. It might have been his girlfriend. watching the Nelly concert at the NFT LA. I think this might have been in 2022. But nonetheless, if you look at some of the videos we presented, if you just look at the materials they put out, if you look at who they are, what they've initiated in this industry, you will see that they're at the cream of the crop at the foundational level. This is the next level of NFTs. They created the engine for it. They got the patent for the NFT. They of course they named it first a Vatum, and then it turned into non-fungible token. So we're in good hands, like Allstate, baby. And if you've been riding with us from the beginning, you'll know that we've only led you to solid hands. And if your hands are solid enough, you too, your portfolio will also be in good hands because you're managing it. Thoughts on IQ? I mean, I kind of like IQ. IQ is AI. It's also it is the 2.0 version of what type of profile did everybody want to have? Somebody in the chat jog my memory. I can't think right now. IQ. What company? Everpedia. That's Everpedia. But what? Sparks. What's the profile that everybody likes to have? Infopedia. I forget. Nonetheless, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But it is a 2.0 version of. I just can't think. But yeah, I like IQ. I used to have some. I sold some. I was actually considering buying more. But yeah, it's a good project. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on this stream for almost 2 hours. I want to thank my guest today, Sparks. Thank you so much for joining us. Great, informative conversation, and hopefully people can benefit from it and also be able to create conviction and thoughts and perspective for themselves. Yes, Tune FM. We've talked about Tune FM over a year ago. I've known for quite some time that Tune FM was going to be started, and it was developed by some the music industry, some influential people within the music industry. Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, was behind it, and a list of other people. And yes, we know that Snoop Dogg has joined it, pretty much coining this to be the next Spotify. So yeah, I mean, we made money if you were in early. I mean, if you bought, even when the announcement happened, you were still in a position to make money. I feel like this is a great time to still buy the asset. We're only going to go up from here. You see Snoop. Remember, Beyonce is partnered with him. I think Mariah Carey. You're going to just start seeing more and more artists join the ship. Whole Defro will be on there. The list goes on and on and on. So yeah, Wikipedia. But Tune FM is a great asset, and I believe there will, Gala Music will also do some great numbers, because if you paid attention recently, they have now given the ability for us to start earning rewards on the music that is now streamed on other platforms like Spotify and or Tune FM. So I believe there's going to be some integration play with this whole decentralized music thing as we continue to progress. But yes, nonetheless, I want to thank you guys for tuning into this live stream. I want to thank my guest, Sparks. Sparks, thank you so much. I'm not sure if you're still here. Thank you for joining us. But ladies and gentlemen, you know who this is. This is your boy, Brando. Investigate truth on your own terms. Still tune in for the next week's stream. We'll have some more jam-packed info for you, but I hope you got something out of this. Once again, investigate truth on your own terms. Peace. Like, subscribe, follow. Hit the notification bell.